starting off in Downwards Dog today. Sorry, no we're not. Starting off on the bad foot. So we're starting off in Child's Pose today. So, drawing the shins down towards the floor. Draw the arms as far out in front as you can. And rest your forehead down. Well done. So if you find that your hips are flying a little higher than the heels, feel free to grab a cushion and sink back onto that cushion until you can rest your hips down weightlessly. Allow yourself to begin to rock your head side to side. Gently massaging through the third eye, through the forehead. Loosening through the upper spine, through the top of the neck. Draw your left hand over and plant it down on top of the right. Stretching through the left side of the body. Place your left hand over to the left side of the room and then plant your right hand down on top. Come back through center and slide your arms all the way back behind you. Palms shining upwards. Shoulders relax heavy down by your side. Visualize your body here as if it were a tiny seed. This is where we're going to plant our Sankalpa, also known as a soul promise, but many refer to it as planting a seed, with a resolve that it will grow throughout our practice. So as we move through each asana, whatever Sankalpa we choose, we breathe it in through the nose, into the areas of the body that we're stretching and releasing tension away from. It may be ahimsa, which translates to non-harm. This is non-harm to our body, with our actions within our asana. Non-harm to ourself within our self-talk. Or you may prefer I am love, I am accepting, I am balanced, I am present, I am awareness. Whatever feels right and resonates with you. Inhale deeply. And whenever you're ready, we exhale, slowly peel up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, until we come into a kneeling position. Well done. So we're going to tuck the toes and then sit your hips back onto your toes. We're just here for around 20 seconds if we feel comfortable to do. We're going to tuck the tailbone down, tuck the front of the ribcage down and retract the shoulder blades so that we're nice and tall through the upper body. Find a lift in your root chakra, a lift in the abdominals. This is quite an intense position, so if you need to come back to your child's pose but keep the toe tuck, then that's a nice way to open out the feet to target those 5 lower body meridians without being quite so intense, quite so much weight down on the feet. When we're ready, untuck the feet, draw the knees as wide as your mat, and we turn the palms outwards so the thumbs shine out, fingers shine back. If we have sensitivity in the wrists, walk your hands back so that we're a little bit taller through the chest. If not, then you might find that you can walk your hands forwards almost to a tabletop position. So play around with what feels best for you here. And again, we're here for only 20 seconds or so, creating this yin-like stretch. We would like the forearms or the inner forearms shining forwards here. Thumbs shine out, palms plant down. This is to stretch through the carpal tunnel area of the body. So this deeper tissue within our body is known as yin tissue. Often within all of our yoga practice, we aim to find a little bit of balance. So that's what we're going to do today. Try and focus on a little bit of yin, a little bit of yang. Balancing out the energies within us by adding in a few yin postures and a few yang postures. Whenever we are ready, we untuck, draw the knees back to alignment with the hips. Walk your hands forwards and then drop the heart space down, keeping the hips stacked above your knees. This is Anahattanasana, or heart melting pose. We're going to be here for around 1 to 2 minutes, depending on how you feel comfortable to. At any point, you can melt back into Balasana, child's pose. If you find that the cervical spine is a little bit tense or a little bit tight, then drop the forehead to the floor. If you find that you can create a little bit more extension, then you might plant the chin to the floor and send your drishti forwards. Allow yourself to begin to melt down through the heart space. Allow yourself to send your awareness towards your sankalpa that we planted at the start of the session. With sankalpas, it can often be a really good way to bring yourself back into alignment with why you came onto the mat. When a pose feels particularly difficult, when you find the ebbs and the flows of intensity or mind wandering get a little bit much, it can be good to return to your sankalpa. If your sankalpa is ahimsa, just double checking if we are being kind to the body, especially in a yin pose. We simply want gravity to deepen us. We don't want to be forcing ourselves into the depths of the posture. We just allow gravity to sink us down. If you feel comfortable to, then we're here for around 30 more seconds. If you need to sink back into child's pose, then you're more than welcome to do so. Whenever you're really keeping your arms out in front, we shift forwards, tuck the toes and lift into your downwards dog. We're going to lift the left leg, draw it all the way through, and if we can, we plant it down between the two front hands. Lovely. Good. So with the left leg framed by the two hands, we drop that right back leg, untuck the back foot, and then heel toe the left foot to the left side of the room. Plant your left hand so it's sandwiched between the right hand and the left foot. This is your dragon pose. This is another yin pose, so we are thinking about where we can melt down after we find our edge. So I'm going to invite you to draw your eyes down to a close, to turn your awareness in towards what you can feel within the hips, within the thighs. You might find that there is a little bit of resistance as you begin to disengage through the muscles. You might hit a natural stopping point where the hips can't go any lower. And that's where we're going to stay and hold. As we disengage through the muscles that we're targeting, you might find that the left leg begins to ease outwards with the inside of the foot drifting away from the floor. You might find that the hips shift out of alignment with the legs. All of these are absolutely fine. Within yin poses, once we've found our edge, wherever your body naturally falls is your perfect version of the pose. Allow yourself to breathe through sensations as they arise. Draw in your mantra, your sankalpa, whatever the seed that we planted, with the aim that it would assimilate into the cells and atoms of our body. We would absorb that mantra throughout our practice. We try and keep a little bit of yang elements if you feel you need extra support in this movement. Within yin poses, the idea is that the hardness of the floor, the power of gravity, and the weight of your body work together in poses. This, alongside long holds, creates a lovely intense movement where it ebbs and flows, and by the end of the pose often becomes quite enjoyable. If you do wish to deepen, feel free to drop your forearms down and then recommit to stillness, meaning that we don't fidget as much as we can avoid it. We only have a few yin poses before we lead into our more flowing yang practice. This can be a really nice way to ease out of the morning and into your day. We're here for around 30 more seconds. We're targeting our kidney meridians, our liver meridians here. Which can relate to fear. And as we're in this introspective position, the mind may wander a little bit inwards. So allow yourself just to become aware of any mind wandering without responding or reacting. Yin is all about being, accepting, as opposed to doing or responding. Whenever you're ready, press into the hands as much as you can. Shift your right hip back as slowly as you can. We'll move nice and slowly as we come into our counter pose. You tuck the two toes, you spread the fingers wide, come up into your downward dog. Inhale here. When you're ready, we lift the right leg. planted down and through, framed by the two hands, and then we heel toe until the knife edge of that right foot is around parallel with the outside of your mat. Draw your right hand to be framed by the foot and the left hand, and then we untug that back knee or back foot. If you do have sensitivity in the back knee, you can stay lifted, but it's quite difficult to really relax down through that back leg if the back toe is lifted. So you can instead support it with a pillow if you need. Allow yourself to close down your eyes. If it helps, you turn your awareness inwards. And then when you're ready, commit to stillness, disengage the muscles so that we can go slightly deeper. Hips might go lower, they might shift forwards. The right foot may lift out to the side. You might find that the body can rest down. Allow yourself to be aware of what the body would like in the present moment. We try not to make each side of the body match one another. The left and the right side of the body will be extremely different in what they want out of each and every pose. So we treat each day that we practice, each side that we practice, and each pose that we practice completely differently. We simply become present and listen to what the body wants. Allow yourself to observe the breath, and if you can feel the breath flooding into the area of the body that we're targeting, if you can feel an intensity increase and decrease, each time you find the mind wandering, allow yourself permission to not respond. Often the thoughts that arise feel as though they demand a response from us, especially in poses such as this, which are deep hip openers. It's often thought in yoga that we hold most of our tension in our shoulders and in our hips. These tensions are believed to arise from the mind and store within the physical body. So as we release them away, rather than allowing yourself to ruminate on them, to reflect on them, we just exhale them away. We're here for around 30 more seconds. If you find the intensity suddenly increases, often this is because we've begun to switch on through the muscles of the area that we're targeting, which in these long holds, we try to switch off as much as possible. Whenever you're ready, slowly shifting your hips back, sliding the legs all the way back, and melting into child's pose for one deep breath. Before shifting all the way forwards, keep your heart space close towards the body and come into a gentle Bhujangasana that can be nice and high, or it can be a little baby Bhujangasana where the chest is a bit closer towards the floor. Well done. From here, we're going to gently plant down the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Allow yourself to check behind your shoulder, just see if the legs are aligned with the hips. And then we allow that same disengagement for our last yin posture. So we'd like the elbows perfectly stacked underneath the shoulders, forearms are parallel to the sides of the mat, so they're out in front. The head can hang heavy here, or we can keep the back of the neck lovely and long. We can close down the eyes or simply settle the drishti on anything that's not moving. As long as the pupils are still, the mind is slightly less stimulated. As long as the breath is slow and full, the body knows it can relax down. This is our Sphinx pose. If it feels a little bit intense, feel free to send your elbows further out in front while still keeping them aligned with the shoulders. If it doesn't quite feel intense enough, then press down into the palms, keeping the palms out in front, aligned with your shoulders. We would like to be disengaged through the area that we're targeting, which in this pose is our lumbar spine. The pelvis, the legs, everything's relaxed down. We're taking this nice, slow, long hold, last yin pose of the session before we move into our slightly more flowing asanas. Allow the breath to be slow. The mind to be still. Consider each and every thought that arises to be completely separate from you, and you're simply the awareness that observes those thoughts. And whenever you're ready, releasing down, we're just going to take a counter pose. So we're going to draw the left forearm parallel to the top of the mat, the right forearm parallel to the outside of the mat, and we draw the right leg out to the outside in a right angle. Rest the head down and just allow that release through your inner hips, through your lower back. Allow that same disengagement. The counter poses are said to be the most important part when we're practicing any yin poses, as the intention of the yin poses are to place stress and compression, to block the chi or the prana that flows through these body meridians, which in traditional Chinese medicine relate to specific organs, specific chakras, and specific emotions. As we take these counter poses, there is a nice release. And with that surge of energy, it removes away any old blockages, any stagnant energy. When you're ready, we move on to the other side. If you can't quite feel it in the lower back, draw the left knee closer to the left elbow and relax down even more through the lower body. whenever you're ready, draw the two hands underneath the shoulders, slide your leg back, and we're coming into a tabletop position. Allow your shins to press down into the floor, fingers spread wide. And we're going to roll through our Vidyalasana to begin. So we exhale, tuck the tailbone down, roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up into a lovely cat stretch where we drop the crown, lift the tummy. Inhale, shine your tailbone up, and allow yourself to flow in the opposing direction through the spine until the crown eventually lifts. Visualize your spine like a bicycle chain rolling link by link. Keep the abdominals pressed to the back in both cat and cow to allow that lovely support for the lower back, support for the internal organs, and a nice massage for the digestive system. When we're in our cat, we would like to feel a stretch through the entire front body. Good job. When we're in our extension of the spine, allow yourself to think about creating the most open chest that we can. When we're in our flexion, allow yourself to think about really stretching through the back of the shoulders. So we keep the shoulders down and away from the ears, back of neck long. If you feel comfortable too, we're going to bring a little bit more flow into the movement. We're going to flow back into our child's pose and then exhale, flow up into our tabletop. So that will look like this. Exhale, flow with a rounded spine. Gently come back into your extension and float back. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, float back. If it feels right to float all the way through to Bhujangasana, then we round the spine all the way up to Cobra, and we extend the spine all the way back to Balasana. Exhale up and through. Allow yourself to listen to your body here. If it doesn't feel right to take the full movement, then maybe just going all the way forwards from your tabletop to a little half plank, and then all the way back to the step just before Balasana. Just encouraging a bit more movement through the shoulders, through the hips, as we mobilize the spine. Well done. When we next come through to Bhujangasana, allow yourself to stay here, or you might come to Baby Bhujangasana, whichever feels more correct. If we are in full Bhujangasana, then we're going to exhale, gently send your drishti over one shoulder. Inhale back through center, exhale over the other shoulder. If we are in Baby Bhujangasana, then we exhale lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and we're not pressing into the hands if we do that version. Whichever variation we choose, whichever pose we're in, we are matching movement to breath. We're allowing ourselves to honor that natural breath that flows in and out by embodying it within your movement. Allowing yourself to become present by watching the breath and moving in time. Often throughout day-to-day life, the breath is just catching up with our movements, with our mind. And it's often thought within yoga that the breath itself is spirit, is life force. So when we allow ourselves to give this power and attention and guidance from the breath to the breath, it can be a really nice way to align with yourself. Good. When you're ready, tuck your toes, come up to your downwards dog. Begin to pedal through the heels. As you do so, you might just stretch through the backs of the legs, through the calves and the hamstrings, or you might stretch through the side body as well by gently swiveling your hips side to side. Inhale here. Exhale slowly. And when you're ready, walk your feet up towards your hands. Walk your hands towards your feet. Now, if we are working around COVID, then we will stay in flat back like so. If not, then we're going to hang in Uttanasana. Whichever variation we take, we would like the hips to be forwards, knees softly bent. You can have your legs hip distance apart or big toes touching, ankles slightly parted. And when you're ready, draw your arms all the way up towards the sky. Well done. Connect the two palms just overhead, and then we sink your hips back. Keep your spine straight and drop Anjali Mudra down to the heart space. Utkatasana. So this is your chair pose. We would like the knees to be quite far back, big toes touching, and ankles slightly parted. We'd like an energy between the thighs as if they're trying to press into one another as much as they can. We sit back as much as we feel comfortable to. Nice. Inhale. Big toes, all of the toes are lifted and gripping the floor. Good job. If you feel comfortable to here, we're going to gently swivel, hook the right elbow over the left leg's thigh, and then step your right leg back to a lunge. Inhale here. Part the hands, open your heart space to the left side of the room. Well done. And whenever you're ready, we're going to take the palms shining towards that left wall and then gently come into a lunge twist. When we're ready, fold back forwards, plant your right hand down next to the left foot into your lovely low lunge twist. Your back right knee can be on the ground, shin pressing backwards and down, front foot pressing forwards and down, or that back leg can be lifted. Whenever you're ready, power all the way up into your warrior two. Well done. So for your warrior two, we have our left heel shining through our right foot's arch. Arms are out to the side, turn your palms up, flatten the palms back down and deepen whenever you're ready. Allow your drishti to settle on the left middle finger. Lengthen the top of the back of the neck. Tuck the chin towards your chest. Close down the mouth. And inhale as slowly as you can through the nose. Exhale as slowly as you can out of the nose. Good. So we would like that lovely deep bend in your left leg. Lovely extension through your right leg. We would like that lovely straight line from the heel of the left to the arch of the right. Well done. Whenever you are ready, we rainbow the arms over, frame that left foot, and step it back to Uttanasana or flat back. Lovely. Holding it here, stretching through the back body, hips stay forwards to get that lovely stretch. When we're ready, draw yourself up into Dandasana. Ardha Hastasana within the arms, which means lifting the arms to the sky like a volcano. Plant your palms together, and then as we sink into Uttanasana, shift your hands down to the heart space for your chair pose. Lift your toes, spread them wide and grip the floor. Big toes are touching. Thighs are pressing firmly into one another. Inhale. Allow yourself to play around with sinking the hips back whilst keeping the chest nice and high. And then when you're ready, turning your heart space to the right side of the room. Hooking the left elbow, if we feel comfortable to. Taking that left foot back into a lunge. And if we feel comfortable to, parting the palms to shine the heart space forwards. Inhale deeply here. Keeping your palms shining to the right side of the room, power up, plant the outer right hand on the inner left thigh, or reach your left hand up towards the sky. Inhale here. And exhale, plant that left hand down. Nice low lunge twist, so we can slide that back leg back. We can drop the back leg down. Inhale deeply here. And when you're ready, we're going to power up into our warrior two. So we think about pressing all the way up and back into your warrior two. Heel of the right is now shining directly towards the arch of the left. Your drishti is on the right middle finger. Back of the neck is long. Lovely job. We keep the hips stacked perfectly underneath the heart space. If we need to deepen, then we deepen the leg and we walk that base foot forwards, the right foot forwards, so that we can still see the two biggest toes of the right foot. Good. If you notice your arms are dropping, then we turn the arms like so to open out the shoulders, and then just the palms return. Well done. Whenever you're ready, power up, straighten that front leg, and then swivel that foot in for Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn around. Good job. So we would like the toes very slightly inwards turning. So we have this very slight internal rotation. Good. Keeping your hips forwards and a soft bend in your knees, we're going to hinge from the hips. Trace a line down the fronts of your legs. And then stop at the point where you feel resistance from the hips, from the backs of the legs. It doesn't have to be your maximum range of motion here. We just want to stop at the point you feel comfortable. Visualize someone is lifting your hips up towards the sky. And if you feel comfortable to, turn your palms outwards so that the thumbs shine out, fingers shine back, and you can walk your hands through here. Lovely. Everyone's Prasarita will look very, very different. we'd like to think about the backs of the legs being stretched, the insides of the thighs being stretched. The spine can be rested down, or we can keep a nice flat spine. It's completely up to you here. Well done. Whenever you're ready, we deepen the bend in the knees, peel all the way up. Draw your arms towards the sky and step your heels in very slightly. Well done. We're going to draw a lovely big circle with the arms coming all the way up towards the sky. Exhale all the way down, and then nice and tall. So you can really make this one your own. You can take a nice small circle, just the arms move, or you can go all the way down to a low lunge on each side. If it feels more correct, you can go into Prasarita and swoop through that way instead. As long as we're drawing a circle without arms, then we're doing this correctly. And as long as we feel comfortable. Good job. Lovely, good. Allow yourself to move in a way that feels nice for you. Maybe you feel a stretch through the side body, the back body, side body, shoulders. Maybe if we're going more for a Prasarita, you feel a stretch through the backs of the legs and the side body. Good. Well done. When you're ready, I'm going to encourage you to deepen into that right leg. Plant your right hand down. Lift your left arm up and over. Nice. Well done. Walk your hands over towards the other side. Good. Well done. And walk your hands back through center. Peel up. Lovely and slowly. Walk your feet slightly closer. And we are going to make our own comfortable transition down onto our backs for some of our supine movements. So it's up to you whether you choose to come down via a nice little yogi squat, and then after 3 deep breaths, popping your hands down behind you, or if you prefer, we can simply grab the floor by coming forwards and then making our way down. Nice, well done everybody. Inhale, open the chest, lengthen the spine. And then when you're ready, plant your hands behind you, swooping down into a lovely supine position. Allow yourself here to hold the knees like so, very lightly above the 2 hip points. This is a really nice way to straighten and lengthen the spine. Allow the shoulders to be down and away from the ears. Shoulders away from the hips. And when you're ready, draw your knees slightly wide. Hug the knees in towards your armpits. We're going to take the middle finger and index finger, hook them around the biggest toe, and then shine the soles of the feet to the sky. Allow yourself to melt those knees towards the armpits more and more here. Flatten the spine to the floor. Shoulders down and away from your ears. Inhale fully. Exhale slowly. If you notice the knees falling wider than the armpits, hug them back in. We don't need to go too wide here. Whenever you're ready, plant the right sole of the foot down, and then send that left leg to the sky for Supta Padangusthasana. Now you can keep that hand to toe if you prefer, as Supta Padangusthasana does translate to hand to big toe pose. However, we can hold the calf or the thigh instead. If you do have a belt around you, you can grab a belt and hook it around the base of the foot so that you can create that lovely counter energy where we press the belt away and then gently ease the foot closer on the exhales that create that space to do so. Allow yourself to ensure that the spine is straight, hips are squared off. We don't need to be tugging the leg here to get a lovely stretch out of this movement. We simply need to dorsiflex the foot. Allow yourself to ensure that there's no pressure on your knee. Good, and when you're ready, bend that leg down, hook the ankle over the opposing leg's thigh, press your inner left thigh away from you, and then guide both legs towards you if you would like to intensify the position. If we do float both legs in towards us, we thread the needle, so we thread the left hand through the inner left thigh, right hand around the outer right thigh. We keep that lovely dorsiflexion in the left foot. Well done. And whenever you are ready, planting down the left sole of the foot, lifting your right sole of the foot to the sky, and thinking about a piece of string, lifting your heel taller and taller. Another piece of string, drawing your toes towards the wall behind you. Allow a relaxation through the upper body. And whenever you're ready, hook that ankle over the left leg's thigh. Either press your inner right thigh away or guide both legs in towards you to intensify the position, interlacing behind the back of the left thigh. Inhale deeply. And when you're ready, plant both soles of the feet down. Place your hands on your tummy. Exhale, both knees fall to the left side of the room. Inhale, center. Exhale, both knees fall to the right side of the room. Inhale, center. Allow yourself to float at the pace of your body. Float at the pace of your breath. When we allow our body to match our breath, many refer to it as fine-tuning a radio. Synchronizing these three parts of yourself, your mind, your breath, your movement. We're allowing our full focus to settle on the breath. Relax your head down. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come into our Savasana pose by sending the legs long, sending the palms to shine up towards the sky. Allow your full awareness to travel towards the heart space. Observe the heartbeat in the chest center. Allow yourself to watch that heartbeat. Follow the sensation as it flows through the diaphragm, the tummy, the hips, the pelvic floor, the sacral chakra just below and behind the navel, the solar plexus in the center of the lower ribs, the heart center in the center of your chest, the throat center in the middle of the neck, the third eye just above and behind the two eyes, and the crown on the very top of the head. Observe the heartbeat in the right eye, the left eye, both eyes, the right ear, the left ear, both ears, the right side of the mouth, the left side of the mouth, the whole mouth, the right cheek, the left cheek, the right side of the head, the left side of the head, the whole head, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the right elbow, the left elbow, the right wrist, the left wrist, the right fingertips, the left fingertips, the entire right arm, the entire left arm, both arms, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, the whole pelvis, the right thigh, the left thigh, the right knee, the left knee, both knees, the right ankle, the left ankle, both ankles, the right foot, the left foot, both feet, the right toes, the left toes, both sets of toes, the entire right side of your body, the entire left side of your body. Feel the heartbeat through the whole body, allowing the body to become heavier and heavier with every heartbeat. visualize that this heartbeat, this prana that runs through the body, is gently sending your sankalpa that we planted at the start of the session through every muscle, assimilating into every cell and atom. Being absorbed into the third eye, into the heart space, into the root. Allowing yourself to take into the rest of your day your personal sankalpa. When you're ready, bringing movement into your fingers, into your toes, sending gratitude to your body as you do so. Allow yourself, when you're ready, to hug your legs up and in towards your body. And spend a few moments here in this nice little self-hug. When you're ready, rolling onto your right hand side, making your way up into a seated position. Guiding your hands into Anjali Mudra. Namaste. Well done.